Hello everyone, I'm Cammie and today I'm going to be installing a Vego garden bed. I've already installed two, the ones that come up to your waist, and they're very nice, especially if you have back problems. They do take a lot of soil to fill up. In mine back here, I was able to fill it up with what I call brush pile dirt. It was the years of limbs and things deteriorating, and eventually it made dirt and I took raised bed back here. But today I am installing a 6-in-1 17-inch high raised bed, and I'm going to show you what's going to make it simple and easy for me to get this bed filled up with some dirt. Okay, this is the 6-in-1 and this is the 10-in-1. The 10-in-1 is so that you can put it to different designs. And this is the 6-in-1. It's 17 inches high. This is the modern. And of course you can tell how this is a little bit different than on the sides. This is olive green. Inside I have walked around, picked up little sticks, and I got logs there. I have it onto landscaping fabric, but if you don't have landscaping fabric, you can just take cardboard and put it at the bottom to keep the grass out. Now you'll see a little bit of plastic onto the edge right there. That's what I did with this bed because my land is not perfect. It slopes a little bit. Now that bed has settled, and the reason I put the plastic in there in case there was any seepage of dirt coming out from the sides. You see, it's not that bad. Now this plastic came with the garden bed, but I just put cardboard over it. In here is just all kinds of debris, pine cones, pine logs, anything I could throw in here, find to fill this up. It helps clean up the yard. So in this bag it's got leaves and pine cones and just raking around, and I put it in that bag. As we notice in the fall, the leaves fall to the ground. It breaks down and it's got lots of nutrition for the trees. It actually breaks down and fertilizes the tree again. So we're just going to continue filling this up. This has got pine straw in it also. Continue to filling this up as much as possible. It'll take a little bit for it to break down. Not too long, but a little bit to break down. Now into my greenhouse over here, onto the tall beds in there, where it's higher up, I did put logs in there. And it helped build up those gaps, those spaces. And it worked out really great. Once I get it to the level I want it at, because this is going to settle, then I'm going to be using the flower and vegetable garden soil. Now into my greenhouse here, into the raised beds, I took and went and got topsoil and took a wheelbarrow and shoveled it in there. And then about 3 inches from the top, I did put some of this flower and vegetable garden soil. So I did do some checking around onto raised beds. What I'm focused on is the quality. I want the quality. I don't want to buy a metal bed and it just corrode within 6 months to a year. And then I put that money out there, I put all the time into it, and then what? You know, you got to tear it down, you got to spend more money. And so I did notice out there a lot of the companies are not expressing how many years these beds will last. Now, Vego says these beds will last about 15 years. I believe it's 15, it might even go up to 20, but I believe it's 15 years. And another thing I noticed is that this is a rubber gasket that goes all around the top. Keeps you from cutting yourself, because when you're putting it together, it's got the conjunction of the two pieces of metal coming together, and this goes onto the top to keep you from cutting yourself and to make it look good. The other raised beds did not have that. When I looked at other companies, they didn't have this piece right here. They didn't express how many years it would last. They didn't tell you what it was made out of. They didn't tell you about the paint that's onto the raised bed, what type of paint, about the history of that paint. Because when we do our raised beds, since we're growing food, and you know, of course flowers, but we want to consider what we're putting into the bed so that it won't leach into our food system. So one of the things that Vego sends is this little handy tool right here. This is a very nice little tool. It's very quality made. And these are only two tools that you need, a screwdriver and this tool right here. So once all is said and done, and later on if you need to tighten up, you can tighten it up, but you got a tool for your toolbox. So this bed also came, look, got magnets on the back of it. You stick it on the side, and if you want to put, like for example, if I had this ready and I got small seedlings in here, and I got broccoli planted. Well, cauliflower and broccoli look a lot alike when they're small. A lot of plants look a lot alike. And if you're like me, you're planting a lot, then you forget, you know, after a while you just forget. I have to label everything. So these are very nice. So like, for example, I can put one on one side and say broccoli. I put it on the other side, cauliflower. Then when I'm moving around, I was like, okay, which is which? I already know which is which because Vego has sent these little handy dandy magnets to stick onto the side. Now, if I had it my way, I would have all the tall raised beds. This is almost 3 feet high, about 2.5 feet wide, and it grew probably, I think, about 20 cantaloupes, 2 plants, 20 cantaloupes. Right now, you just see flowers in here that I placed in here that grown up, and they attract a lot of butterflies. But I just absolutely love it. It's nice to be able to walk up here and just stand straight and tall, and then you know, do what you got to do. It's wide enough that you can reach to the other side, and these are very nice. Now this is also the same size, but it's a 10-in-1, and this is the design I decided to put it into. Longer for the fact of my greenhouse, the door, and so I can open, you know, open that door up and not hit the raised bed, and for the width right here. Yes, I could have expanded it out, but I decided, yeah, let me try one of these beds right here because you still get the same amount of footage. This also at the top helps hold the metal together. You got the bolt down here, but up at the top it helps hold it together. So as you can tell, they give a little bit extra, so I'm just going to take my scissors and cut that off. And we have completed our installation of the Vego garden bed. And all we got to do now is continue walking around cleaning the yard up, throw stuff in here, put our garden soil mix in here, and now we're ready to plant. So we've almost got it filled up. So I'm moving it around some, kind of compacting it a little bit. I went to where the wood was cut up with the wood splitter. Of course, with the wood splitter, it makes little pieces of chips of wood. And of course, there's a little small limbs that fell and just leaves that have already started composting. And so I'm going to continue kind of make it into leaf mold. But so I'm going to continue filling this up. I about got it filled up. Plus it's got some dirt in it from raking it. Little tiny sticks that fell all year long. I mean, like little tiny ones from the storm. So we've got her done. It took those 4 bags. I put the leaf mulch in there, whatever I could find in there, just like before. It filled it up, and I put 4 bags of 9 months fertilizer, garden and soil potting mix. And so it will settle some. It's probably, once it settles, it's probably going to take 2 more bags. Normally what I do is that once I get my leaves or whatever I'm going to put in there, logs and everything, once I do that, then I can put some topsoil on top of that. That's going to compact it down, and then at the same time help save some money. Of course, I'm not sure these days and times if it would have saved much money as far as buying topsoil, because I've got my topsoil into my raised beds into the greenhouse about 2.5 years ago, about 2 years ago. And so now I don't know. But considering that whatever else I put in here, and I only had to put 4 bags, I think that's pretty good. So guys, I thank you very much for watching. I think this is all for this video here, and I'll see you on to the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up on putting this raised bed together, you know, starting this raised bed gardening, because the main focus of this is that we are getting older. Don't matter if you're 23, 32, or whatever age you may be, eventually you will get older. And so I am preparing to be able to go ahead and grow some stuff as I get older, because my mother quit at a certain time, my grandmother quit at a certain time, basically the same age, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to, if the Lord's willing, be able to continue growing into my greenhouse and into my Vego garden raised beds. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you on to the next video. And one other tip, before you buy raised beds, check out the description, check out the reviews, check everything out, because there's some cheap ones out there. These are not cheap, but you can catch them on sale. Actually, those 2 back there, they got them on sale right now, and I wish I caught it at the deal that's at right now, because I could have got 3 of these tall ones for what I paid for 2 of them. So, and this size right here is really nice, about the size that's inside my greenhouse. So, but anyways, check it out. Make sure that you follow up on your homework before you purchase a metal raised bed. See you on to the next video.